Sonic the Hedgehog is generally perceived as a family-friendly gaming franchise, but the Sega mascot has had his fair share of tense moments over the years in the narrative of his games, some of which have proven to be rather terrifying if we're being totally honest. So today we are counting down our picks for the top 10 scary Sonic the Hedgehog gaming moments. Now, we've talked about Sonic moments plenty in the past, but this time around we'll be focusing particularly on moments within the games that gave us quite the scare. So with that in mind, let's get to it. At number 10, Suicidal Sonic. How's that for alliteration? That's one way to start off a list, isn't it? And at our very first spot on the list, we have a moment from Sonic's CD that gamers would wait and idle around for when they played it, all to see if it really was true. Sonic commits suicide if you leave him standing still for too long in the game. I guess standing still was a fate too tragic for the blue blur. Can't go fast. Anywho, after a while of Sonic tapping his foot and staring at you through the screen, he eventually wags his finger and jumps right below the map, with the game over sign popping up right after he's departed. While some players believe he's just being dramatic, others began to call this Sonic suicide, and well, the internet caught on. And at number 9, Sonic Adventure DX Red Mountain. Sonic Adventure DX is a pretty beloved title in the Sonic fan community, but some of the finer details in the game concerning level design popped out to players for other reasons than, being enjoyable or entertaining. When you're playing the Red Mountain level, during the portion of the level where you're inside of the mountain itself, you might notice that there's prison cells featured along parts of the rocky walls towards the end of the level. Now look closely at those cells. Inside of them are human-like figures dressed in white and purple stripes. If that didn't freak you out, this might. Moments after you pass the prison cells, there's a chunk of rock with a few rings on it that you pass that looks like a miniature graveyard, decked out with gravestones. And following that, you pass by an area heading out of the mountain that features human skulls that shoot fire at you. Is this all just one mass grave? In addition to that, if you listen closely to the music that plays inside of the mountain, it kinda sounds like a mashup of hip-hop and scream, so yeah, not fun. And at number 8, Sonic Adventure 2 King Boom Boo. Often you'll find that a long-running video game franchise will feature recurring foes, familiar enemies unique to that gaming universe, some of which are notoriously nuisances, and some who are notoriously eerie. Sonic is no different. King Boom Boo, a minor villain to appear in multiple Sonic games, is one of those eerie foes. He's the king of the ghostly boos, and literally resides in a place called Death Chamber level. The boss battle against him in Sonic Adventure 2 is nerve-wracking to say the least, and playing as Knuckles, you must avoid his attacks in order to, well, stay alive. And at number 7, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie trailer, because it's a scary day for gaming when a live-action movie turns your protagonist into this. And at number 6, BioLizard. The BioLizard is a creature who has appeared in a slew of different Sonic games over the years, although its first appearance in Sonic Adventure 2 is perhaps where it is remembered the most vividly. Created by Gerald Robotnik, this grotesque creature was concocted when Project Shadow was launched by the President of the United Federation. It was the prototype of the Ultimate Life, a predecessor of Shadows. The BioLizard itself evolved into something that was so unruly that it could not be controlled, and lucky you has to fight against it. And at 5, from Sonic Spinball, Scorpius. Sonic Spinball might not be the most memorable Sonic title to date, but it does feature one memorable boss level that left many younger generations of Sonic players creeped out. We're talking about Scorpius, the giant robotic scorpion made in the image of Dr. Robotnik, who you duke it out with in a boss battle room covered in oozing green slime. Yep, pretty horrifying to say the least. And at 4, Sonic Unleashed Dark Gaia. Dark Gaia is arguably the scariest boss battle to ever be featured in a Sonic game. First off, Dark Gaia is immense, it's intimidating, and it's literally a creature who looks like it crawled out of an H.P. Lovecraft story, and it just continues to get worse as you go. Dark Gaia has a whole other transformation that, if you didn't feel grossed out before, definitely will make your stomach churn. Those eyes, those teeth, that slime. Ugh. It takes Sonic transforming into Super Sonic in order to even be a viable threat to the beast. No bueno. And at number 3, Sonic and Elise Kiss from Sonic the Hedgehog 06. The 2006 Sonic the Hedgehog game, commonly referred to as Sonic 06, is a title that's widely viewed as the worst of the Sonic franchise. Perhaps the worst game to ever come out of Sega as well, for being honest. Long story short, the game was filled with flaws and development issues, and also featured one of the most cringe-worthy stories in the entire series. One moment in particular, though, really takes the cake in terms of cringe. It's when Sonic, the anthropomorphic hedgehog, kisses a human girl, Princess Elise. It's weird. It made many people uncomfortable, and it's gone down in history as one of the most awkward cutscenes of all time. And at number 2, Sonic Drowning. Ask anyone who's been a fan of the Sonic games since they first came out in 1991 about what moments freaked them out the most, and surely Sonic Drowning will be within the top few picks on their own personal lists. It's not only Sonic's drowning animations that scared young players, it's the music that plays along with it. It's practically anxiety-inducing. And seeing Sonic gasping for air after the initial countdown does not help matters either. The Genesis versions were always the worst forced for this, and by the time Sonic CD came out, the drowning music had disappeared altogether, although the drowning animation was there for the long haul. Look at him gasping for air. He's dying. And finally, and at number 1, the execution of Gerald Robotnik. Did you know that there's an execution of a character featured in a Sonic game? Well, I mean, technically it's the lead up to an execution. In Sonic Adventure 2, the last story cutscene features an image of Robotnik's grandfather, Dr. Gerald Robotnik, tied up in chains, about to be executed, all while he explains his plan to crash the Ark into the Earth. Now, after he's finished, we hear an off-screen voice say, "Is there anything else you want to say?" To which Gerald's response is, "No." And then you can hear the off-screen man shout the word "ready." The whole thing plays as if it were a recorded execution. This execution then supposedly happens off-screen. Now, if you don't believe that this footage was leading up to his death, turns out there is a Sonic Adventure 2 tie-in via Sonic X in which you can hear the gunshots in this scene, something that many believe was a detail cut out from the Western version of the game. You can also hear the gunshot that kills his daughter Maria in the Dreamcast version of the game too. Alright, there we have it, friends. Which of these moments freaked you out the most? What other moments in the Sonic video games scared you over the years? Give us a shout in those comments below and let us know. If you dug this video, spread the love, hit that like button, and be sure to subscribe to Top 10 Gaming for more. We also have a nifty little playlist currently flashing on your screen filled with other Sonic videos that, like, you know, just click them and check them out if you like Sonic. It's a fun time. In the meantime though, thanks for watching. I'll catch you all in the next video.